everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday morning podcast. Have some little different recording setup here. I apologize if there's any potato quality. On November 21st, 2017, here with Alan. What's up, Alan? What's going on?
What's going on, man? What's up?
How's the borough, man?
You know, it's, there's air here.
Oh, how's the quality of air? Is it, substandard?
A little bit above substandard. Probably.
Is it mutant? Because, here lately I've been hearing that the air has been mutant.
Yeah. It's just not, it could be worse.
Yeah, I wouldn't vote for it. In November. Wait.
No, I'm not voting for it.
No. So, have you catch Sam or Buster with any sexual misconduct past couple days?
I've witnessed a lot of it, but I'm just going to let it go until about 40 years from now, then I'm going to report it when they get famous.
That makes sense. I don't know Sam and Buster are doggos. And just recently, Buster actually was part of the lawsuit against Charlie Rose. He said that Charlie Rose touched him inappropriately on his stand when he was pooping in the studio. He said, it's his right as a dog to poop in the studio. Yeah,
it was an unaired interview.
Yeah, then Chuck slapped him in his ass, and Buster's.
Yeah, it was pretty outrageous.
I mean, of all people, Charlie Rose he's a rambunctious vagabond of vaginas and dogtail.
Yeah, he's all about the dog ass.
He's I'll never forget Quentin Tarantino and Charlie Rose. Yeah, Quentin Tarantino's an awesome director, but man, don't get him talking about anything other than nothing.
Yeah, he's one of them V8 motors of speech. He should be an auctioneer.
Yeah, but see, I guess in the alternate universe, he probably would have like super stylized an auction by selling off like old 70s lamps with like 4 light bulbs and crocheted egg protectors.
Yeah, that stuff.
Yeah.
They fit.
Yeah, fucking Tuesday mornings, dude, fucking suck ass. Just want everyone to know that.
Well, generally most weekday mornings are terrible, but Tuesdays specifically is just,
Yeah, nobody wins. Especially, man, I got up at 4:10 this morning.
That's about what time I went down to. It's about 4 o'clock.
That's weird, man, because I went to bed at like 9 p.m. And that in normal time, in Middleburg time, the borough time, that's 8 o'clock. That's fucking retarded.
Well, the dogs were barking at some fucking... It seems like the same car that circles around here blasting music, which, it couldn't be more obvious than, you're blasting. It sounds like somebody beating a trump up with like one of them, I don't know, quarry hammers or whatever. Stone.
Yeah. I was gonna go with who said was it Rick Ralph? That was like, I got a chopper in the trunk.
Yeah. So it keeps the dogs occupied.
Well, they still think it's Santa Claus because they think Thanksgiving is.
Yeah, that's when they get their presents. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're always like, well, they always get the bones.
Yeah.
So I like that bone. So, Alan, is there anything else, man? Have you been on the webs? Is there anything interesting going on?
The SPN's cutting about $80 million worth of salary.
Yeah, they had a plan set up since 2015 to get rid of all their people, right?
Yeah. Which, by all accounts, would be considered a loss on Disney. But I don't know how that works.
Maybe they're trimming the fat so when they purchase the Fox assets, they'll have, they can focus on that, maybe. I don't know.
I just think, initially this is a whole lot very much like when Vince McMahon bought everybody out at first everyone's like, dude, this is going to be so awesome because we're going to, and it never works out that way. You know, like, it's just, I think it's a bit too much, you know. Because all they're going to end up doing is oversaturating every little franchise they can. In this particular case, it'd be The Simpsons, which have already got more than enough content, but what they'll end up doing is they'll force somebody to get a sequel to the movie out, and which there already was talks about that, but, you know, they slowed it down a little bit to wait and to make sure they got the right staff or writers and all that, you know.
Right.
But, you know, there's that, it was Aqua Teen Hunger Force. They had this weird episode. The Granite family is, you know, talking about the Flintstones and how Time Warner got a hold of the Flintstones to sell it to Fox. So
yeah, and there were literal representations of like a fox was a fox, you know. And what was CNN? Or was CNN? No, not CNN, but ABC. Was it like an owl or something that played it?
I don't remember, but the point is like the all this monopoly stuff it's going to be really bad for everybody. It always does. Like the Marvel franchise and Star Wars franchise both are going to end up being so wore out by the time, you know, maybe in a couple of years from now, especially. And it is sad, really, because it's just, you know, if there was any integrity left in those franchises, they're definitely going to be totally squeezed out. And of course, a lot of people don't, you know, there's people that are really behind it and stuff, and that's fine, but I really don't think ultimately this is going to work out.
No, superhero movies are the new Western.
Yeah.
Which, you know, took them, I don't know, when Westerns became not cool, that's when they started being cool, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we're getting to that point where comic book movies are almost to that point where it's just not cool anymore, man. To me, they've been that way for years, but to the populace, we're just now probably about to reach that point.
Yeah.
Because how cool is a lightsaber? I mean, it's honestly, I mean, if you've seen it, a lightsaber, I don't know, half your life, how cool is it now?
It's just, what I've realized, though, watching the Disney Star Wars is how important it is to cast the right people. That no matter how cool the story is, like, if you don't got the magnetism or charisma in your cast, it's a forgettable mess. And it doesn't age well. That's another thing. It does not age well at all. But they're not in the business of timelessness. They're in the business of a quick weekend box office. You know, it's so obvious. That's the thing. And then the counter argument is, well, if you were put in that position, you know, how would you do it? It's like, I wouldn't do it, you know.
Well, either that, I would just not oversaturate. Well, I would still keep the spectacle and the specialness of a Star Wars film that used to exist.
Yeah.
But, yeah, you just can't saturate the market. It's also, what is it? I also read that the director of The Last Jedi is already going to do another trilogy. He's going to direct another trilogy.
Well, you know, more power to him, but I'm not watching it, and I don't care. You know, I think for the people who do care, that's great for them, but even then, they're going to end up getting pissed all over their faces, man. Like, the oversaturation's unbelievable, and they're only doing that because they know that the Marvel stuff's running out of gas, so.
Yeah, and because, you know, they've been riding, you know, that train for a while, and
it's a little bit too much. It's just, all this stuff is bitterness that Disney had reserved ever since Pixar started kicking their ass years ago, and they started losing money. I mean, and, you
can't put out Jafar's Revenge straight to video.
Yeah,
and you know, and expect people to be like, you know what? Yeah, hand-drawn animation shit's still pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They kind of screw themselves in the quality
department
there, even though they have special VHSs. That was their big gimmick, those boxes or whatever. But
yeah,
that was pretty silly. Yeah, well, I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of bad ones.
I'm just over all this shit, man. I don't know if it's because of age or whatever, but this is Hollywood's tail spinning.
And it's kind of good. It's because, they got so intoxicated with their own bullshit, and they started to politicize their point of views. And no matter how you cut it, there's nothing more cutthroat or more deadly than politics.
Yeah. So
in your fake fantasy Tinseltown world, you may think that you're fucking badass and, you portray a president or a politician that you think that's how it is. But no, there's always something much stronger, much darker goes on with politics. That's what happens.
Yeah.
So if you diddle a kid, they're going to know about it. It's just like you're running for president, man. If you say grab him by the pussy, he's going to be all over CNN.
Yeah.
And Fox and all that, but I guess if you back it up a little bit, it started with all the Fox heads getting busted, like Bill O'Reilly and all that.
Yeah, and Roger Ailes or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of back and forth.
Do you think that someone's going to stir up some controversy with Disney, with some sexual conduct with them? Like maybe the Wanda Group has a Joker card you're going to throw down. And Alan, explain what the Wanda Group is.
Well, I mentioned it before on several podcasts back, but it's a Chinese mega corporation that it's one of the largest real estate owners and multimedia theater owners of all, I guess, in the world. And they recently had purchased several studios out from in America, like Legendary Films and a good portion of, Warner Brothers. And a good example of it is the Wonder Woman film, the Wonder Group that had its hand in its distribution and stuff. And but what I think, they have the clout to dig up dirt. And I think at the end of the day, what all this shenanigans going on with people running around naked, jerking off, and all that stuff is distracting from the truly most disgusting stuff of all time, which is the pedophilia that goes on in the entertainment industry. And if anybody knows a thing or two about children, it's Disney.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
and there has been things that have came in and out of the ether.
Yeah, well, to tell you the truth, man, I'm not being strange or weird, but once you think about it, think about all the what is it, like Selena Gomez and Hannah Montana.
Yeah,
all these young girls. It seems like that Disney tries to hit every demographic in the world. And when I say that, that means also pedophiles.
Yeah.
And it seems like I'm just going to throw a dart at the board here and say that a lot of pedophiles did watch Disney programs. Yeah. That's weird and disgusting to think about, but that's got to be part of their difference.
Nickelodeon too.
Oh yeah.
But that's not going to get. I mean, it's still going to have somebody fighting it, but that's right now into the media. If you're a straight man that's in entertainment, you're a target. Kevin Spacey is the only one that was closer to reality. Yeah, of what they're trying to cover up,
Yeah, because, he actually, strangely enough, he does look like the post. Just because he looks like it doesn't mean, he should be one, but...
Actors are professional liars, man. As much as we're entertained by them, that's their job. And,
they're snakes.
It's so weird. Well, once you think about it, I think it was Clark Gable was the only one that was really honest about how he felt about the whole Hollywood thing and how silly it was that he gets, awards. And, I forgot who was talking. Bruce Campbell was actually talking about that on the Nerdist podcast about how Clark Gable had to be distracted so he wouldn't talk to press because he was so blatantly honest about it,
Well, and, that's cool though. That's kind of manly, I guess, because he's.
Well, yeah, I mean, he knew it was silly, and And I think it's the second season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia when Charlie gets crippled. And he dresses up like an old Vietnam vet in a wheelchair. Yeah, and he's talking to Frank about, you know, who do people like more than veterans? And then Frank's like actors, models, musicians. You know, so there's that cult of personality and all that stuff. So yeah, we're trying to. It's a whirlwind of bullshit, and sometimes and it's funny that we hand people money for it. Like, man, you tricked me, bud. Here.
Oh, well, see, at the same time, it is kind of like a parlor circus show, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, I do see, in a way, it is kind of respectable. Completely make me think that you're from Russia.
Yeah, it's a trick. Yeah.
I mean, you know, but you know, it's like I wouldn't prioritize an actor over, say, I don't know, like a Jordan Peterson or, you know, like or something like that, you know, something that...
Yeah, or Mark Twain.
Yeah, a moral, some type of, I don't know, philosophical context and strength, respect. There's misplaced respect everywhere. As much as I love The Rock, you know, he really doesn't give a shit if I live or die because they know I even fucking exist.
Yeah. So people need to keep that in perspective as much as, you know, well, it just takes the fun out of it. Well, no, I mean, you know, fuck shit, man. I don't know what to mean.
You know, see, here's the thing though, because, you know, I think it's better once you know when you can turn the lights on or off.
Yeah, exactly.
You separate fiction from reality because everyone likes to dream, you know, but
yeah,
it's still just, you know, reorganized information in your brain. It's not real.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of stuff is. I mean, if I have a dream about I want a peanut butter and jelly and bologna sandwich,
yeah,
I can make that happen.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to shoot space bugs out of the sky and smoke a cigar and say, yeah, bitch, in real life.
Yep.
Fiction addiction is a real thing, man.
Yeah, and we get a lot of it through social media, too, But this thing with Hollywood and TV, I think a lot of it has to do with the streamlining that they're getting ready for whatever the new streaming service is going to be. And that's how everyone's going to be able to get their films and television. It's all going to be on the same spot, and that, you know, there might be different pay or packages that you have to pay to get certain films, you know, the Disney package, the Warner Brothers package, or whatever the fuck.
Conveniently, Alan, I don't know if you noticed this, but, you know, the net neutrality thing is being pushed again right now at this moment. You know, it pops up every year.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, you know, it's got Kevin Spacey, Dylan Kids, Dustin Hoffman, Charlie Rose.
Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss. And Richard Dreyfuss' son, too, right? Didn't he get molested by Kevin Spacey, or was that someone else?
Yeah. It was Richard Dreyfuss' son that... I think.
Oh, okay. That's a point counterpoint. I see what he's trying to do there.
Mm-hmm.
But net neutrality goes right with that streaming service, man.
Oh, yeah.
It can be like, here's your slow-ass internet, and here's 5 channels on the internet you can go to.
Yeah, which I guess we all kind of saw that coming.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because the internet's still, it's you know, it's tamed, but it's still the wild desert.
The biggest mistake the public can make is assuming that, you know, there's too much security involved with that. They would never let it happen. I was like, you know, and realistically, your integrity's for sale, man. And if the right amount of money gets thrown at the right situation with the right people, it doesn't make any difference. You know, it's just like your information right now is floating around from Facebook, and now Twitter monitors your activity even when you're not logged in. So that should be something to consider. And the same thing, you know, people on Facebook posting pictures of your kids. I really suggest that you guys slow that down, because much like the pedophilia that we mentioned earlier, that is rampant, and you know, it's very rampant on social media. There's more than enough lurkers. Creeps. Yeah. And those pictures get sold probably in a deep web.
I mean, I think I've seen it just on the news. That was like an alert.
Yeah.
Facebook, what you share, especially kids' photos. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
But a lot of this stuff is just, people being people and impulsiveness and stuff like that. It's probably not going to change because someone pointed that out. Because unfortunately, there's something happened to people some time ago, and I believe we're living in the wake of it, where people are just really, really not there, and they're just going to have to accept it. And that's not me being an asshole; it's just a fact. And for one circumstance or another, people have turned off that part of their brain that was critical thinking, or their awareness is so slow. I mean, the reaction time, all that stuff is just slow, man. And it's all going to catch up to every one of us eventually. So.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Everyone's tired, and if they're not tired, they're on SSRIs. So.
Yeah. And or not even just that. It's just the damn street drug thing with the heroin and the fentanyl and all that in combination of that. But. You can only turn the other way on stuff like this for so long before it's like, shit, my 12-year-old daughter's addicted to fucking, it's like, how long are you going to let that go?
But hey, man, it's just like any type of quote unquote, addiction is treated like a disease. There's no cure.
No.
There's cure, there's no cash.
If you want a cure for addiction, take your brain out of your skull.
Yeah, because we're all hamsters hitting that, hitting the water pellet and drinking. Like mine is nicotine, and also we'll probably say cheese.
Oh yeah, I mean everybody's got, even sugar is something that's the introductory addictive substance.
Oh,
and then it just
then after that it's caffeine.
Yeah.
Then after that it's
nicotine or alcohol.
Yeah. Then you're like, wow, I wonder what a joint will do. Then you smoke a joint and you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Then that's, most of the time it kind of stops with alcohol and weed. But now since some pharmaceutical companies are pushing their agenda or whatever they want to, that's what will lead to your first Lortab or your first Xanax or your first Valium, and then it's all down here from there.
Yeah. And it's no joke, man. It's a number. It keeps climbing up, But it's whatever. People need to start looking into it a little more, I guess. And I know it's a downer. It's a negative aspect of life, but it's a serious one. But I doubt it. At the end of the day, man, it's all we can always have optimism. Oh, this will change, but I can't possibly sit there and say that with optimism. I think it's going to get worse.
I mean, I don't know, man. I remember, podcasts about 4 or 5 years ago. We were talking about the opioid addiction problem that was never, addressed.
Yeah, now it's getting to where now they're talking about it, but they're never going to blame the lobbyists in Pfizer and
no, only thing they're going to blame
Monsanto Bear and stuff like that.
The only thing they've been blaming is that one doctor that didn't play ball. And
the one doctor who didn't play ball and maybe was late to the game or whatever.
Yeah.
What they have now is a huge mess that they anticipated the mess and they just didn't think it was going to come as quickly.
To me, it's just like anything though, man, or any drug that you give to anybody. I mean, Alan, there's some dim bulbs, man. I'm not gonna lie. There's some dim bulbs, and they don't have that ability to be like, okay, I'll need to stop. I need to stop doing this drug. And that's what happens when you give something so addictive like that. Duh. What do you expect?
Exactly.
These are not the sharpest tools in the shed. They don't have that self-control that a lot of people have.
Yeah.
Hell, even the most intelligent people don't. You know what I'm saying?
No.
You know what I'm saying? It's just because opioids just instantly, that grabs you. It just takes a hold.
It's
like alcoholism can, you know?
Yep. And you don't realize it until way down the road that it had an effect on me. You know, and again, this is a human problem, really. This isn't, it's a misunderstanding of our brains and our chemistry or genetics and all that stuff. And plus, you know, in a world where hardly anybody engages in creative activity, really, and you work a lot and stuff like that, it's easy to rationalize that behavior. So the thing is that people need to stop doing is getting on these fucking message boards and go like, good, I hope they suffer, dumb fuck, you know, these really stupid, narrow-minded people that think.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Most of the time, those kind of people that openly talk shit about people who are on prescription medication are the one protecting themselves because they are also
exactly
on prescription medication. So
it's like that episode of The Office of Michael Scott when they found the fucking joint in the parking lot.
Yeah, that was because he went to Alicia Keys' concert.
Yeah, and he was all like, "I'm above suspicion because I hate drugs so much." And
yeah,
it's hilarious, but that's actually more close to reality.
I mean, there'd be shocking revelations if you just ask, if you got into the nitty gritty of about who is on some type of prescription drug or a drug period.
And the thing is, it's fun. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't think that's
it's like the whole, Bill Clinton cocaine running business is don't point at someone else and say it's bad if you're doing it yourself.
Oh, yeah. That's a story that will be buried. But that was a deal. That's the reason why there was a lot of hatred towards the Clinton establishment, even as far back as the 90s. And it wasn't just the Republicans, it was other Democrats and stuff. So
I mean, all that's coming back now. I don't know if you heard about, Bill Clinton getting smeared again.
Yeah. I still think the retroactive stuff is a little...
It's a little much, but at the same time, though, man, it's like, once you think about it, don't you think that the President of the United States is 100% definitely like the example of sexual misconduct, and that's like the standard it's set right now. And it's kind of weird how people are just now being like, oh yeah, I remember when Clinton raped people and months of women to get stuck to penis.
Yeah, it's
because what do you think about the king and granddaddy of all conspiracies? What do you think of immediately, Alan? JFK, right?
Yeah.
Sexual misconduct, Bill Clinton.
Right.
I mean, come on.
But yeah, I think what we're witnessing is the collapse of both political parties completely. Because you have one saying, the holier than thou neocons. Because there's hypocrites obviously on both sides. And now it's being magnified to the point of where the public's just numb to it,
Yeah.
And maybe they'll either A, you overlook it and go on about your business, or B, you just stop participating. And I believe that people need to stop participating in this mess. And a lot of people see that as a defeatist attitude, but it's just it's just intelligence, man. This whole thing is not working anymore. We're witnessing the collapse of it, and people just need to start figuring something out, man. And we got information. Some of us still have their energy and youth about them, start focusing on something else. The political structure is garbage. It wasn't designed really for your sake. It just ain't. You live in a place like Muhlenberg County most of your life, and presidents come and go, nothing changes, technology changes, and that's what I keep saying. People need to try to keep their eye out on what's going on there. Because, much like addiction, when it'll be too late before people realize how much of a grip technology has on their lives. I'm not saying everyone needs to become Amish or whatever, or technophobes. It's just, there's some serious shit going on.
I really enjoyed the Game Boy and Game Gear when I was younger, but I never checked it every 16 seconds, though.
Yeah, that's a psychological addiction, too.
And, the Black Mirror is fucking with me, man.
Yeah.
And it's got to the point, you know, if it's not around me, it's like there's some type of weird anxiety, man. So
yeah, missing out on something or whatever, and it turns out you're not really.
No, it's just something just barely above the primordial thing. Really, oh, it's kind of interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
Then it goes on. That cycle keeps going.
Yeah.
And it, you know, it's just enough to be like, oh, that's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're still to 5 minutes or 5 seconds. You know.
Yeah. So yeah, that's an addiction too.
No, I'm just saying, post something on Facebook. What do you do? You wait for somebody to hit thumbs up or, you know,
comment on it.
Yeah, every 2 minutes you're like, oh, I wonder if somebody liked the thing that I posted that someone else did.
Yep. It's just as addictive as any street drug, so we're all addicts in that aspect. You know.
Yeah. Well, Alan, can you share I don't know, your fucking favorite thing about Tuesday morning?
Nothing.
You want me to tell you mine, man?
What?
Zilch. Nothing as well. Fucking.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah, man. It's one of the, this is pretty much a good experiment for this recording a phone call for a podcast. Hopefully it's not too much potato quality though, man.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, and you know, try to keep these kind of short so when we do a full-on podcast, which usually reach about the 2.5 hour mark,
yeah,
that's something, you know, you can dig into. But yeah, make sure you send me a bowl of Buster soup, by the way, man.
Oh yeah, I'll get on that.
All right, and do you have any like closing Tuesday statements?
No, not really. Thanksgiving coming up. Woohoo. Yep, I think, people outgrow shit as much as we don't like to admit it, but that happens.
Yep. All right, man. I guess I'll call you back a little later, dude. I'm going to check.
Okay.
All right, man. This concludes the shitty-ass Tuesday piece of shit podcast.
All right, man.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.